Welcome to our new video series, Speed Data, quick conversations with cybersecurity leaders. I'm your host, Megan Garza, and today I'm thrilled to get to talk to our very own Matt Radolec, Senior Director, Incident Response at Cloud Operations here at Varonis. Matt leads a global team of security and cloud experts. His team helps organizations adopt a data-centric approach by securing data from the inside out. Matt has more than a decade of hands-on cybersecurity experience. Before joining Varonis, he worked as the Cyber Threat Program Manager at WilmerHale and is the Cybersecurity Technical Lead at SRA International. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Matt, you frequently host the State of Cybercrime series, covering current events in cybersecurity and predicting trends to come. So what do you think the future of cloud security looks like in 2023?
I think for a lot of organizations, 2023 is going to be the first year that they take cloud security more seriously if they've been lagging behind in their cloud transformation, or where they revisit the things that they've done before. One of the things that we see a lot is organizations just making assumptions about what they're responsible for in terms of security in cloud and what the providers are responsible for, or what potentially there is left for their employees to configure. And so a lot of the things that end up getting overlooked are misconfigurations, or even a provider like a cloud service provider introducing a new configuration, and then that default configuration not representing the best possible security. So a lot more to come in the future of 2023 around cloud security and cloud security posture management and what it means to be secure in cloud.
And so we talked a little bit about what's to come, but how has the threat landscape changed since you began your career?
I would say when I first began my career in cybersecurity, everyone was worried mostly about nation states and APT style attacks, or where you had this very sophisticated threat actor that got in and dropped, unsignatured, unrecognizable malware and completely evaded defenses and, stole, all your data and brought down all your systems, or kind of wrecked havoc for political gain. And while APTs are certainly a big threat still, I think the things that change the most is just the commoditization of cybercrime. Cybercrime has become a commodity. You can rent hackers for rent. You can get malware and ransomware toolkits for rent that have help desks and supports. It's become a business, and the lower part of it's the low sophistication level cyber attacks have become commoditized. So I think the biggest things that changed is just how easy it is to be an attacker, to be a cyber criminal.
And do you think that commoditization is the biggest challenge that CISOs face today?
I think that the biggest challenge that CISOs face today is the pace or the slope of the increase in complexity in the environments that they operate in. Many companies are M&A heavy, meaning they're constantly acquiring new business units and either deciding to directly integrate, not integrate, or integrate to some extent. They're moving to cloud. They're having on-prem and cloud. The amount of things that a CISO has to look after is going up at an exponentially increasing slope. And so the job's just going to continue to get more and more complicated as they start to operate in more places, SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, on-prem, their own data centers, workstations, mobile devices. Everything's getting more added to it, not taken away from it, which just means more for the CISO to manage.
And what would you say it takes to be a successful cybersecurity leader?
I think at first it takes a real understanding of what your specific business is. So often do I hear security leaders who are leading about the latest risk or the latest issue, but it really does have to tie back to your specific industry and your specific vertical, the data and the resources that you should apply the most protections to. So one question I always like to ask a security leader is, what is your most important business unit? What is the largest revenue generator for your company? Are you applying the most of your security resources to that? Because if not, you might want to rethink about what is it that you're actually trying to protect? Are you trying to protect just the image of a brand? Or are there actually specific people, specific departments, specific kinds of data that's worth more than other things inside of your environment, and they're worth that extra scrutiny that you can provide from a resources and prioritization perspective?
Sure. And you speak to a lot of cybersecurity leaders in the industry during your State of Cybercrime series. You ask a lot of thoughtful, probing questions, trying to gauge what their concerns are, what they're worried about. What kind of cyber threats keep you up at night?
For me, it's these like fire sale type of events. So we saw it in the 2015 invasion in Eastern Europe, where we saw phone systems go down, water go down, we saw power go out. We've seen some meddling from foreign actors in U.S. critical infrastructure, whether that's oil and gas or water. The things that keep me up at night are the things that would really truly impact all of our lives, which would be, attacks on our nation's critical infrastructure or on the, utility providers and all the kind of connected resources in our supply chain. Things that would damage our day-to-day life are the things that probably I think and worry about the most.
Yeah, I mean, that could certainly be catastrophic. I can tell that you talk about this with a lot of passion. I know that you have a love for cybersecurity, but I'm curious, if you weren't in cybersecurity, what do you think you'd be doing right now?
I haven't gotten this one in a while because at such a young age, I very naturally gravitated towards cybersecurity. I truly think I was maybe 10 or 12 years old when I really got a handle on like computers and computer science. And I just knew that there was a future for me there. And so I haven't thought a lot about that, but what's like the first couple of things that come to mind? Law or politics. I do think I probably would have, I had past experience working at a law firm, but from the security side, and I just like the people there and the culture there, I thought I could work here. These are brilliant people that want to work hard. Like I could do that. I could do that in the long term. I would say if not that though, I'd probably be on the range shooting guns. If I'm being candid with you, Megan, I'd be some way related and trying to make a business out of participating in a long range shooting.
See, somehow I can picture you doing all three, being a politician, a lawyer, a gunslinger. That's fantastic.
Great.
Thank you. Before we go, Matt, my last question for you. What is one piece of advice that you wish future cybersecurity professionals knew?
Yeah, that it's not all about being like a technical wizard, but it's also not about only speaking business. Like to really, like, if you want to be a cybersecurity leader of tomorrow, you need to balance your business acumen with your technical acumen and your ability to communicate and drive action with others, like your managerial skills. If you can figure out how to have a balance of those three things, the ability to like coach, manage, lead, and develop people, the ability to understand like revenue generation of whatever business you're working for, or if you're in like a nonprofit, like achieving the objective of your organization. And, also the technical challenges, the vulnerabilities, the exploits, the attackers, their techniques, their tactics, their protocols, and always focus on how you can improve in those three areas. You're going to be an unstoppable security leader.
Yeah, that makes sense. You kind of have to balance the soft skills with the tech wizardry, as you said. Thank you so much. We really appreciated having you on today, Matt. I know that I learned a lot about what it takes to be a successful leader in cybersecurity. I'm sure our audience did as well. And speaking of audience, if you have any questions you'd like to see asked during our next Speed Data episode, shoot me a note at mgarza@varonis.com, and you might just see them pop up on the next episode. Thanks again for your time, Matt. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me.